Donald from Amarillo. Donald has a question about an ag question about corn and cotton. I assume it's for Commissioner Miller. Donald, go ahead. You're live.
Yes, this is Donald Johnson. I'm retired from Plains Cotton Growers. Served there for about 25 or 30 years back in 1960 to 99. I'm familiar with farm programs and agriculture, although I'm retired now. I'm concerned about the fact that it's planting time. You can't, as you know, if you've been with agriculture, you can't wait on that. I hope there will be sufficient supplies for the farmers if they don't have them. Also, sufficient labor, and hope the farm program, as needed, will work. And that's my primary interest. So, Dr. Jackson, I'd like to have yours or Sid Miller's comment on that, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, that's kind of my department, but Ronny, you can jump in any time you want to. We've had some good news this week. China is living up to their agreement on the tariffs. They made a huge purchase of corn and grain sorghum. So it looks like everybody thought they'd try to weasel out of that, but so far they're staying true to their word. I hope they continue to do that because, you know, the farmers don't really want handouts. They want good markets. So, but because of this situation, not the tariff situation, there was some more money in the CARES Act, and actually the first bill that they passed, and I think there's an extra $14 billion going in the Commodity Credit Corporation. And we got some good news that the SBA changed their stance, and that they're going to allow agriculture operations to participate in the Paycheck Protection Program. So those are all good news. A lot of good news for agriculture, taking a hit on this, but it looks like we've got some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep, I agree with that, and I can tell you guys that President Trump is going to hold China's feet to the fire on that. They promised $80 billion in spending on farm goods, and he's going to make sure that they live up to that. If he doesn't, there'll be repercussions for them, especially in light of the fact that they were probably in some of the situation we're in right now is because of China and the fact that they weren't straightforward with us early enough in this, and that they put us in this position that we're in right now. And don't think that hasn't gone unnoticed in the White House because they're tracking that. And when this is all said and done and our economy is back on our feet and we're in a position to do something about it, there'll be something that's done about that. But I can tell you that the president will hold their feet to the fire on this money. And like a commissioner said, with the $2.2 trillion that's out there now, in addition to the $80 billion that China has has agreed to spend on U.S. farm goods, there is, I think, $25 billion set aside in that $2.2 trillion for farmers as well. So hopefully there should be some help on the way. I mean, everybody's cognizant of the fact that the farmers have taken a double hit here. I mean, they were hit by the farmers and the ranchers were hit by the tariffs, and then back to back, as soon as they were just about to get out of that, then this COVID-19 thing hit. So they've taken a kind of a double insult here. So everybody's sympathetic to that. So we'll make sure that keeps going.